I think personally that this video lets black people know how good they are and that they should be proud of who we are.
Yeah, I also am proud of how we are as black people.
Me and my dance team and my Yukon coach decided to do a math Martin Luther King dance challenge to this beat.
I have a dream. One day, this nation will rise up.
This song inspired me to cheat on my wife.
We hold these truths to be self-evident.
Perfect video. Watch it and listen to it when you get high, smiley face.
Coming up on a go for August 6th start.
Those were all actual YouTube comments. And I accidentally made some of them grammatically correct. My apologies.
I'm not
it was hard to
surprised by
resist.
this.
It was actually perfect video. Watch it and listen it when you high. Watch it and listen it when you high.
Am I supposed to be surprised at this point by these YouTube comments? I was unfazed.
Well, somehow when that French guy did it on top of a skyscraper, and he was like, "Shout out to George Floyd's family," and they just started doing basically this exact song. Everyone was like, "That's hilarious." Everyone got that was embarrassing. But for some reason, I guess this is a YouTube video from 2013. This was probably this was cutting edge content back then. Yeah.
Damn, is this an EDM remix? Right? It's a good thing it's not dubstep.
Damn.
I hate dubstep.
Dubstep's lame, bro. That's why we make jokes about it. We make jokes about video game Thomas the Tank Engine.
Yeah, look at me. I'm dancing.
I'm dancing.
Yeah. Oh, Vuvuzelas.
That's not 2008. Vuvuzelas.
Remember those?
Yeah, I remember those.
Remember those?
Oh boy. Oh boy.
I am human peeled skin. My entire existence is skin. I'm pretty sure I just lost about 25% of my body mass this week from a sunburn that is peeling.
Oh, you were
I'm
fucking
shedding like crazy.
You were fucking salt lifing.
I was down in the Gulf of Mexico, and it's hot and sunny.
It's hot
and
there.
And I walked around without my shirt on, and I got back to my Airbnb. I'm like, oh right, yeah, I forgot that I can burn. I've not burned in a very long time.
Yeah.
But this was a pretty serious one. It hurt to walk around.
You gotta stop eating vegetable oils.
That's what's doing it. I was
If you only eat saturated fats, you won't burn as easily. Yeah.
Oh shit! Well, there you have it.
So were you just hanging on the beach? Were you like cruising? Were you longboarding? Fucking on the pier?
Yeah. I'm listening to LCD Sound System while longboarding. No, my parents are spending the month there, so I went.
They have
and
a
drove down
timeshare
and
there or something?
No, they've got an Airbnb.
They just go
it's the off
visit
season
sometimes.
so it's really cheap. Yeah, they just stay there for a full month, and went and spent the weekend with them. And I engaged in what they called going to work, which is they just go to the beach and sit for hours. And
that's what geezers do at the beach. Yeah,
that's their shtick. Their shtick is it's like, oh man, we're gonna go put some hours in at work, and we would just go and sit. And my mom and I looked for seashells, and we watched football. And that was how I spent my entire weekend, was on the beach and watching football. It was pretty awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I look forward to the age when I could just sit on a beach all day and not and enjoy it somehow.
Dude, it felt. I think you might be at that age now. I think we've left wanting to do things in amusement parks age and entered.
Oh, I definitely don't want to go to an amusement park.
Sitting on the beach is enjoyable in its own right phase. Where like I just sat with my dad. We occasionally would strike up conversation, but for the most part, we just kind of sat by the water, and it was lovely. It was terrific.
That's good.
I just kind of dug my feet into the sand over and over again and slowly worked my way around and made like a half circle that was maybe half a foot deep into the sand in front of me.
Nice.
And yeah, I was talking about as we were just somehow got on the topic of like we were talking about if places have review scores, because like pretty much anything you mentioned
They
that
do
there
on
was
Google.
there's a grave site that had a review score
yeah.
near you.
5 stars.
And I was
R.I.P.
and
Grandpa.
I was looking up Mecca, and I wanted to know if Mecca had like a tourism website or like or review scores. And apparently, you're not, as a non-Muslim, allowed to go to Mecca at all. But I found the idea really funny of just some clueless tourists from America walking in during the middle of a prayer into Mecca with absolutely no idea what they're doing. Like they just think they're going to go see an attraction in Saudi Arabia.
Thinks there's a big robot there. Mecca.
Oh,
Sweet.
no,
That big Gundam? I've seen that. I want to see that.
oh man, they put up this. It seems like they put some fences up around the main attraction, but let's just take a peek inside. And they look inside the Kaaba. They look inside the Kaaba and get beheaded. That was funny to me. I was just thinking, because like, what places do have review scores? Eiffel Tower's got to have a review score. Wonder what that's
of
rocking.
Course. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
Eiffel Tower. That's a
yeah,
4.6. 4.6.
Wait.
Let's see. Let's see what the 1-star reviews look like for this. Lowest reviews.
If you type Mecca into Google Maps, it doesn't even.
It gets you Makkah, which is like the city, right?
Oh, maybe just Google's bugging out for me right now. It's not doing anything.
Mine is broken right now because I just tried to sort by lowest, and there are 280,000 reviews for the Eiffel Tower. So it's trying to fetch those for me right now. It's completely busted. Hello.
Mecca. That's the city. Where's the goddamn?
Isn't it just the mosque or the Grand Mosque at Mecca?
Great Mosque, Al Haram. Yeah, this thing. Okay. So if we go here in Google Maps, yeah, right here. It has 331,000 reviews.
Oh, does it? Okay.
It's a 4.9. So they're digging it. They're having a good time with it.
Oh, I would hope so. I don't think you want to be the guy that drops.
Oh, so the whole stadium thing. That's a 4.9. The cube, the sacred cube. 91,000 reviews, 4.8. So still pretty solid. Little bit, the whole thing. The whole experience it's greater than the sum of its parts.
Now tell me why I'm not allowed to go. Why can't I go? I want to see.
There's also the Station of Ibrahim, which is holy stone in the Kaaba. I don't know what that means, but that's got a 4.9. So that one's pretty good.
The holy stone is the thing that's inside of the black box.
It's not placed correctly on the map here then.
It's like a meteorite.
But still, high marks all around for Mecca.
So people like Mecca more than they like the Eiffel Tower. That makes sense. I feel.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I bet you if I went to Mecca and saw a whole bunch of motherfuckers praying, I'd probably be pretty moved. Like I could definitely be moved by that. Eiffel Tower, I saw that thing get used as a weapon in that latest Evangelion movie. That doesn't have that sort of. That was the best part of that movie. I was like, fuck that thing. Yeah, if I was a Muslim, I'd be pissed at like Mecca. At least the surrounding area looks like garbage. There's always cranes and shit everywhere. It looks like the nastiest city. They gotta clean that sucker up. You would think that they could get enough donations to make that happen.
Get those tourism bucks.
Yeah. We'll start horning out. I went to Mecca shop. And all I got was this T-shirt. That's what I'm looking for. Yeah, really trashy gift shop stuff, and let white people in, because we'll go.
They do let them in. You just got to be Muslim.
I I don't know if I would be able to prove. I don't know if the
I bet the conversion process is very easily.
pretty liberal with the
very-
convert. Let's see what does
yeah.
it take. But
You don't get a billion Muslims without a pretty easy conversion process. Not everyone's going to be
Islam.
Not everyone's going to be memorizing the Torah like Jews. That's why they don't get many new recruits.
How to convert to Islam and become a Muslim.
Hope you're incognito, bud.
Oh, no,
Hope you got the VPN on.
well, this only has a rating of 3.8.
A dude just took a fucking temple. What's it called? The synagogue hostage in your state, and you're like, how to become Muslim.
Well, they've been waiting.
Picked the worst day.
They've been waiting for a very long time for me to make this slip.
We got him.
Well, I was really thinking about it. It's like, who does that? You know?
Does what converts?
Yeah. Who like as a
tons
Westerner
of black dudes in the 60s and 70s.
That's true. Because they're like, yo, fuck this whole Kwanzaa thing. We're throwing in with the Muslims.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Muslims love allying with. They've been with the Nazis. They've been with the blacks. They're
pretty inclusive.
They're always looking for new pals. They're down for anything.
It's just the real problem is that there's one group of people that they really do not care for, and that's kind of a huge sticking point for some reason. I don't know.
Yeah.
You got to understand each other's cultures, you know.
There's differences.
Here, I'm gonna hold on real quick. I'm gonna let the NSA know that I'm not converting to Islam. I'll send them a quick message.
Just do another Google search for how to convert to non-violent Shiite Islam.
I'm gonna be a Jainist. How to convert to Jainism? You must approach the guru.
Just search how to convert to, and then a bunch of other religions like Mormonism, just to cancel the rest of them out.
You know, the thing is that I feel like if I converted to Islam for real, which I'm obviously not doing, I think you're right in that they would probably take me in. I don't know that I could ever get into the inner circles in other religions. I don't know that I could ever be like, maybe the Catholics though.
You have a very cop look to you.
Yeah, That's why they're actually not spying on me. Is they look at me and they're like, he's too clean cut.
Mm-hmm.
I was telling you about Spook Corps recently, and they just Spook Corps.
Spook Corps.
It's where you dress like a
called
CIA
hip-hop,
spook.
Ethan, Jesus Christ.
It's where you dress like an FBI or CIA agent. You know.
Oh,
you got your clean cut. You got a short sleeve shirt, a black tie, comfortable shoes. You know, just like.
If you search for Spook Corps, Google says, "Did you mean Spooky Corps?" Yes, I did. Yeah, Spooky Corps got some.
What does Spooky Corps got?
It doesn't have that much. I mean, it's just spooky. It's just like I'm just looking at pictures of like people in lots of eyeshadow and like some sleep paralysis demons.
I like those. I'm seeing on Pinterest Spooky Corps ideas, and it's just a dude in a sheet with eye holes cut out holding a pumpkin.
Yeah, that is Spooky Corps. We're bringing back Witch House. That's Spooky Corps. Yeah. So snowed a bit here.
Yes, I heard.
I had to dig my car out of a foot of snow tonight to get 1 6-pack of beer.
Oh.
Because the liquor store was closed. Liquor store closed on Martin Luther King Day. That guy loved booze. What the fuck?
Yeah, that would be like closing a brothel on Martin Luther King Day. He loved whores.
Sure. Yeah.
I guess he was more into hoes than he was into whores.
Yes, please use the proper. Yeah, so very snowy. So had to get beer instead from the grocery store. And I also watched some football this weekend. I went over to my mom's to watch the Pats get fucking spanked. That was why they just straight up root for the Bills now. And
do they really?
Yeah, because no, I mean, same with me. No Tommy Boy, so who cares?
Damn.
I think my mom's husband was already more of a Bills guy, but she's from Boston. But now I think she's going along with it. Yeah, and I didn't care except for I kind of wanted the Patriots to win so that I could send a smug text to you. But then they were down by 25 points at the end of the first half, so or 20.
It was the first game in NFL history where an offense scored every single time they got the ball, or scored a touchdown every single time they got the ball. It was the
whole
first
game?
perfect. It was the first perfect offensive performance in the history of football.
Oh my god! Holy I mean, they okay, yeah, they did get the touch. That one extra point got blocked. I wouldn't call it that perfect.
That's special teams, not offense. That's special teams.
Oh fucking! They have every stat.
They
you can make up a stat for anything.
They did. That's the first time a team has ever scored a touchdown every single time they got the ball. That's pretty good.
That is fucking completely wild. That is insane.
Which you would think that would have happened, right? Like that's something you would think would have happened at some point.
I guess there's been a lot of football games. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. So I left at halftime. Like, all right, this is a bloodbath. I ate my pizza. I'm going home. Yeah, and then I just saw a screenshot on Twitter of someone posting live stats from the Cardinals and whoever else game. Apparently, the Cardinals in the second quarter were at -1 yards total.
They had they had thrown more yards to the opposing team. Does
that count as negative yards for you?
Yes, it does. Kyler Murray was going to get sacked for a safety, so he just lofted the ball up in the air, and a defender picked it for a touchdown.
Oh my god!
It was a pretty great play. Watched a lot of football this weekend. I got one more thing real quick. I got a plan.
Sure.
So
you're scheming?
You know how the third episode of these is always the worst because we're burned out?
Yeah, we don't have any more bits.
I got something to spice it up. I got a game, I think.
Ooh.
This is a game which I'm going to. You will be the player. I will be the proctor. I'll be putting it on. I'll be putting the game on for you.
Yes.
If you're interested, of course. Only if you're interested. So
sure.
The game is going to be called Isekai or Total Lie, and I'm going to come up with some fake Isekai concepts, and then I'll draw upon Isekai from the last decade and see if I can get you on any of the most obscure ones and be
I've watched at least the first episode of almost all Isekai from the last decade, so that's going to be difficult to.
I was thinking about
it. I think
remember I can do it. I think I can.
Your best bet is to find light novels that haven't been adapted yet, because I wouldn't know those.
That's pretty good because there's so many of them, though. I mean, we probably have seen at least 50. I would say, like the first
50?
episode of 50.
Dude, how many we've been doing season
you watch
previews
more than I
for?
Do.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. I mean, if you're saying we, then let's say
you think you've seen a hundo?
6 years, 4 seasons. That's 24 seasons.
Oh my god!
If there are, even if there's only 2 per season, that's 50. If there's 3 or 4, which there usually are, then we're at well over 100.
Yeah, I think I like my chances. I think I can stump you. I think because
okay. Do we have a taste, a little morsel to?
No, I don't yet. I wanted to make
all?
sure it was something. I was making sure that you wanted to play that, and I'll bring it for next time.
I would enjoy that. I would consider at least maybe mixing in some obscure light novels that I probably have not heard of.
That's totally on the table. I'm gonna use everything.
Are you giving me Are you giving me the? Will you be giving me the Japanese names and the English translations, or just one or the other?
I was thinking about it. Because it would be really hard for me to come up with fake Japanese names. So like, and again, but if I do light novels, it'll be a little easier. I don't know. To be determined. I might do a mix of both.
Okay. All right. Interesting. Yeah. No, I would be interested. Consider me interested.
I got more time now, so I was able to do things like watch all of the shows well before we were going to record, and also
I watched most of these yesterday because I was bored.
And just think about stuff like that. So yeah, that's what we're going to do for next time. Spice it up a little bit in the bedroom with an exciting new toy or game or movie.
His and hers, yeah. Yeah, sweet.
You got anything else?
No, I don't really.
Right.
Yeah. We should. Are you still gonna have a chunk of free time in February? I was planning. We were talking about a trip. Me coming down there.
Yeah. I'll let you know what it's gonna be. I think I got like maybe 2 weddings next month, but I should definitely have some time next month.
Nice. We should plan for that at some point.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Let's talk about the second what is not a quadrant? What's
triumvirate?
The second triumvirate
trimester
of seasonal anime for winter 2022. That's when we are now. And the first, I didn't want to talk about this one very much because it's a sequel and only I saw it. But Takagi season 3, I watched it. Still cute, still good. I didn't even have any notes because it's just
all right, nice.
It's just more. Yes, I believe we both watched Ninjala.
Yes.
Ninjala.
Now, I mentioned earlier that I finished everything with more than enough time. I did pretty much immediately put this one on 2 times speed. This was time to 2 times speed on this. Probably, I don't know that I got halfway through the opening before I was just like, fuck this. I get 1 a season, so this is the one I did it on.
Okay, it went by pretty fast for me because of how kind of confused I was. But this is a quote free-to-play multiplayer action video game developed by Soleil Ltd. Limited and published by Gung Ho Online Entertainment. Unveiled at E3 2018, it was released on June 24th, 2020 for the Nintendo Switch. Animes by OLM. I was pretty on the fence about whether we should even watch this one because I kind of avoid shows that look like they're based on card games and that they're for children.
Yeah.
I don't know if I made the right call here, but we did watch it. The opening played at the beginning, and I was immediately kind of uncomfortable because it was kind of just a bunch of athletic kids jumping around. It's like it seems like it looks like it's set in the Splatoon universe or something, or at least it's going for that. It's aping that style. Very fashionable kids, huge heads. But then the show starts, and it's this guy. He's in Pee-wee's Playhouse. He's got the Pee-wee's Playhouse Rube Goldberg alarm clock that wakes him up and jerks him off and brushes his teeth and everything. And
of course.
He goes over to his lab because I guess he's a scientist. And his lab, they got a lady and a big black guy, and I guess they're trying to develop candy or something. The one bit I liked that they kept going back to was the poster of Thomas Edison, but it's over a pipe on the wall, so his face is all distorted. I did like that one.
Was your translation for this also awful?
Yeah, because it's not Crunchyroll subs, so it was someone fucking... Yeah, the subs were terrible.
Horrible.
One of my favorite lines, bomb is just too much. Two darts is too much. 3 darts is too much. So they are doing experiments, and then we cut to some kids walking around doing
Why
stuff.
was this was really
I couldn't really figure out what was going on. Yeah,
because
there's a kid doing karate.
well, never at any point did I consider that our protagonists might end up becoming kids. That was it was because like, okay, everybody in the intro they all be little people, but then we get to the full size people when we start the episode. And I'm like, what? Why ain't there no little people? And and then we cut to little people, and I'm like, oh, are these older people going to be leaders of this team or something? What's going on? Why is it like this?
What's going on? Yeah. So it just sort of half introduces us to some kids, and then there's an eye patch girl. There's this guy. She's there, and so then they're making some candy.
Oh, I'm sorry. Then we got one of the characters is introduced breakdancing in an alleyway, and there's like a whole group of people gathered around.
She's the Basquash looking. She's the hip black child.
And she's thinking to herself very seriously while hip hop dancing. That's
what's
funny.
going on in their heads when they do the
serious contemplative
modern
thoughts.
dance, hip hop dance. So they're in their next candy experiment. He's also kind of a funny bit. He's talking to the other scientists about how he's like, what, we should be just throwing stuff at the wall and not thinking as much. And as he's doing that, he tosses the cat into the machine along with the rest of the shit. And you see the cat go along this tube and get stuck, and then they go, "Oh my God, we put the cat in the washing machine." So they get the cat out, but then the cat's bell that was around its neck stays in there, and then it makes the machine explode, but it also makes some candy that tastes pretty good. And then they have ninja powers. And the way they react to having ninja powers was not how I personally would react to getting ninja powers. They act like that was the intended goal of the experiment, which I feel like, unless I missed it, which I very well could have, they did not mention was their goal beforehand.
They were trying to develop ninja gum. This is their
okay.
Yeah.
Right,
I don't know if I don't know if that information comes after the explosion or before, but they are trying to develop ninja gum.
Yeah. Okay. I might not have been paying that much attention. Maybe they explained that. And now they all have ninja powers. And then the main guy and the big black guy start fighting. And I thought they were like sparring to test out their skills. But then I guess it turns out the black guy is actually some kind of villain, because he runs away and sets off a bomb. So I guess they were actually fighting.
Well, it's kind of strange because he's very designed, like.
Well, I guess he's going to be an antagonist.
Yeah.
He works for the evil ninja company.
I think it's going to end up being a reveal, flippity flop switcheroo.
He's a double agent, triple agent,
which is the actual term, I believe. The literary term is the flippity flop double switcheroo.
Yeah.
but
they pull the flapjack on us. So, and also they turn into little kids. So
they do.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's not really worth critiquing this one because it's a show for children, but it's laid out in a weird way. There's a scene where one of the first scenes is they're talking in a cafe, and it's like flashbacks, and they're explaining their previous experiments, and I don't really understand the point. It's a weird one. I don't know.
Yeah, the whole structure of it is kind of fucky. It's just like you said, the flashback, and they introduce this character, the black fellow, in the flashback, even though we've already met him. It's weird.
It is a little weird, but kids won't care. Have fun, kids.
No.
I think this is a show only I watched, and I will talk about it right after getting another beer. So you talk about your feelings.
Oh, my feelings. Okay. Well, what am I feeling? Let's see. I haven't been eating much fast food recently, but I stopped at a fast food restaurant on my drive back from the Gulf today, and I stopped in and got myself a Burger King burger for the first time in probably 2 years, and I have to say it was pretty fucking delicious. I was really digging it. I was well worth my ducats. I was quite happy with it.
All right. I don't know what you're talking about, but I'm happy for you.
Yeah.
I made a loaf of bread tonight, and ma'am, fucking, I haven't tasted yet. I'm sure I nailed it because when you, that shit rose. It's a perfect sphere. Rose so high.
Nice.
When you just nail a loaf like that, it feels so good. But I watched Shikakumo no Saikyo Kenja.
Yes.
This is the one I spared you from, and again, I am the master. I made the right call. The strongest sage with the weakest crest. Wow. And right below that in my notes, I've written R. However you would spell that, that's how I spelled it. Light novel, J.C. Staff. My first note is, I am not gripped. He's traveling through a fantasy world. He's a mage, or a sage, I guess, but mage, same thing. He takes a carriage. The carriage is ambushed by a large creature, which he defeats easily, and the carriage driver is like, "What? How did you do that?" Because he is shockingly strong. And then he visits, it's like uncomfortably muscular and weird. It's this big muscle tiger. It creeps me out. But he then walks into a swordsman's shop, weapons guy. And there's a lady in there buying a sword, and he says that he'll enchant the sword for her. And he enchants it, and everyone's like, "What? There's no way he enchanted it that fast." But then the sword's really sharp, cuts right through the table by accident. And then suddenly it cuts to they're just in sword practice, and then suddenly he's fighting this guy who says he knows his father. And the main character cuts his sword, and the guy goes like, "What? My sword? What happened?" I wrote, "This is pretend entertainment."
Explain.
It's like, it's hitting no. It's nothing. It's unseasoned. It's hard tech.
Yeah.
It's like a front. It feels like a front. It's like the money for this show was going somewhere else. It was going to some yakuza who's protecting this studio.
Someone legally needed to produce a show that was technically an anime.
You have to make 8 shows this year. All right.
Yeah.
Well, we made 7, and again, I guess we'll adapt this.
I guess we're just not gonna write anything. There's gonna be no script, and we're just gonna kind of animate. And there will be something. Light novel. It comes from. Oh, this is a light novel. Okay.
It is.
Okay. Wow! Holy shit!
So they're in I guess he's also applying to this magical school, or he's just there. I don't know. They're doing tests. They have the obligatory test scene where they're testing out their magic. The students are not very good at magic, and then you're shooting magic at some targets. Then he blows the whole thing up, and everyone's like, "Whoa! How did he blow the whole thing up?" And also, what's the go-to, what's the laziest way to show that he's way more skilled at magic than everyone else? Everyone goes, "What? How can he do this?" Can you guess? the way he uses magic is different somehow.
I have no idea. What do you got?
He doesn't say the incantation. It's wordless, just like in Mushoku Tensei, and isn't that in Harry Potter too? They have that. They have that system also. So yeah, they did that thing. He can cast spells without saying the spells. It's crazy. The headmaster's name is Edward, and so yeah, wordless spells are a big deal. And so then he just becomes a teacher immediately. He's already a teacher. He's teaching the teachers how to do wordless incantations. And then he runs into a group of Yu-Gi-Oh bullies who are designed ridiculously. And I guess they like challenge him to like a fight. But then also suddenly they're just like in a coliseum and there's people watching this fight happen. There was no setup for this. It was bizarre. And then MC notices that the head bully is only pretending to say the incantations. He's also using wordless spells. So he's more powerful than he's letting on. But he defeats him nonetheless. And then he reveals that or at least this bully, his name's Devilis. He's actually a demon. Devilis is a demon.
Devilis happens. Wow, what a man.
So demons have invaded. They've infiltrated the school. They're hiding in plain sight. And
holy shit! I cannot believe
we've got to fucking out them.
I cannot believe that you're still talking about this.
Well, that's really the end. I said, "Good God,
okay,
that's not how you do any of that."
Not blaming you. I'm just like, holy shit, this must have sucked to watch.
Yeah. Oh yeah, boy. Ooh yeah, boy.
I mean, I've been there where you start one, you're like, oh, fuck.
You know? Oh, I immediately like, fuck. I mean, just from the title, I was like, this isn't gonna be good. This isn't gonna be a good one.
There are a couple of those every season where you're like, oh, you had like some good momentum going, where it's like those weren't too bad, and then you just completely like, and it takes like 3 times as long to watch as anything else,
for sure. Oh yeah.
Well, that sucks.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Wasn't psyched. We both watched Akebi-chan no Seirafuku.
Yes.
Sailor uniform.
Uh-huh.
Manga Cloverworks' second show of the season out of 3. We will also do the third this episode. The entire plot summary from Anime News Network. Komichi Akebi is starting junior high at the prestigious Robai Academy in the countryside. It's been her dream to wear a sailor-style uniform, and tomorrow her dream will come true. I was like, how is that a show? That's a weird premise, but now I guess I get it. So it's this girl. She lives in a rural town, super ultra Genki, very.
The people around town know her. They know her as they're like,
super bumfuck nowhere. Like she rides in the back of a guy's truck, and she talks about how the school she's going to has more than 10 kids per classroom, and that's a big deal to her. So very very bumpkin.
Yeah, she's the ray of sunshine in this farming town, like this. Which, to be fair, beautiful fucking place. Her hometown fucking rocks.
It looks like Furano, where we went. It's surrounded by mountains, but it's a big flat farmland.
Her home that she grew up in, or her fucking parents' place, rad.
Oh, their house is crazy. I wanted to get to that. Yeah, they live in like this fucking elf cottage, but like the spiky kind,
This show has just a bunch of places that I want to go. I'm like, the backgrounds are so they really evoke a specific feeling and place.
I cannot believe that architecture exists anywhere in Japan. Like
it's so European.
Yeah, like there's no way there's houses like this anywhere. That's crazy.
Well, we got Japanese homes here.
I don't have a screenshot, but it looks like this. It looks like a gingerbread house. So she's like a very Genki girl next door girl from the country, who's excited to sort of come out of her shell or whatever.
Now, real quick. I'm so sorry. I got to cut you off.
No,
real
it's
quick.
fine. You're half of the podcast.
My because you're on a roll there. My first note after she jumps around on a backcountry road is feet, all caps.
Well, I mean, that's not the most feet we even have in this episode.
I know, that's what I'm saying. This is my first indication where I'm like, wait a second. Hold on.
I mean,
a minute.
we don't get much of her feet, do we? Do we?
It's like one of the first shots where she's back home is bare feet. And
I remember that one. Yeah. It's the toe opening shot. Yes.
And
yes,
they couldn't hide it from me because I knew immediately
you
the
got
second
the
I
eagle
saw
eye.
it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is gonna be a foot fetish show. This is gonna be.
I think it's just high school girl fetish in general, and like not fetish, like
Why are they trying to normalize it?
Well, this is really like the epitome of Japan's love of high school girls and the uniforms both.
Yeah,
it's definitely sexual, but it goes beyond that. It's like really I really love it. Like they love it at a level that's like really at a deep a much deeper level than just fetishizing it. It's like they idolize it. It's they can't get enough.
So they got some she lives with her mom and her sister, and her dad's like he works remotely or something, or he's like,
well, no, he works. He's on business trips.
That's sorry. That's what I meant to say. He's on a business trip, but that's not a thing that happens anymore. People only work from home. Nobody goes anywhere. But
people have to travel sometimes.
So he goes on business trips, and like her mom has been sending him photos of her falling asleep because she's studying so hard, like falling asleep at her desk and stuff. And there's more feet in those. And then so after my
I wasn't noticing any of this. You fucking got a sharp eye.
I started noticing this, and then immediately after my second note about feet, my next note was these animators are going to jail because this is just it is so explicitly just like, isn't this the cutest high school girl ever? Isn't she perfect? Like we're gonna just render her with the utmost detail this entire episode.
Yeah. There's so much going on in this, just in the very first part of this episode. I was having trouble taking notes. She's jumping around doing like gymnastics, just in the middle of a rural field. But yeah, she wants to go to a bigger school, the school that her mom went to. You know, this is like it kind of reminded me of like the reason I liked Kumamiko so much was because that was also about a country bumpkin girl who wanted to go to the city, but then at the end it scared her too much and she went back home. And they played it off as a joke, but I was like, yeah, stay there. Don't get corrupted. So yes, she's going to this school, and and also, you know, this is you'd think with their other show getting so much attention that this wouldn't also be like a really, like, not big budget, but like the amount of detail. The backgrounds are fucking insane in this first episode, at least. Like look at their house here. Like they drew all these plants and the fucking. I wonder if it's. I didn't look at the credits. Like I wonder if it's the background studio that gets outsourced to, that everyone goes nuts over, is Studio Pablo. I wonder if they're involved.
Because you can see through two window panes here. Like you've got the window panes in the foreground, and then deep in the background, you've got another transparent set of window panes.
More plants,
with floral stuff going on behind there. And like the character models aren't the most. They're not always the most detailed character models, but there's a lot of movement going on, and in motion it looks really good. I think just like the general character work and stuff.
Background art was Cloverworks Art Room. Did that shit in house. All right,
looks fucking killer.
Yeah, for sure. And I like the character design a lot. Sometimes there's some shots where the faces look a little weird because they're kind of squished.
Yeah.
And I like the shot where the mom looks very, very smug.
Yeah, they kind of go a little off model, or just at times, or maybe like their heads are generally a little rounder.
Yeah,
And a little bit less, a little bit wider.
So and then they start fabric shopping, and I was confused. Like, is her mom making the uniform? I did not know this was even a thing. Because I've never heard this even mentioned, that you can just make your own uniform.
That's strange to me as well.
That is very strange. But I guess her mom is like a seamstress, so she can make it perfect for her, maybe? I don't know. Yeah, she really... I think there's an idol that she likes, and also she really wants to wear a sailor uniform. And so they buy the fabrics, and they make it. I felt like she should have made the uniform a little bigger in case she grows more. I don't know. She's just going to junior high, so she's probably going to get a bit taller.
Ah.
Huh?
Ah.
Huh?
We're about to, we get some side booby once the shot moves a little bit. We get there's she got udders. She got some titties.
Oh yeah, no, she's high school girl, junior high school girl, of course. Yeah, I like she's got this little sister who's giving her motivational speeches. So she gets her sailor uniform made. She's very happy about it. So happy that they give her like her own like painted. Oh, there is some more foot stuff. The classic putting on the sock shot.
Yep. Not one of the more gratuitous shots in the episode.
It's not. It's not that shot from Zero Note Skyma, that famous one. But it is still. She is putting on socks.
Do not get me wrong. Or hold on. That's not what I meant to say. There's a lot of fucking foot shots in this. I promise you. I enough to where I have 5 notes that are exclamation point feet. So
yeah.
Yeah.
You're probably I believe you. Oh yeah, and then they give this like almost matte painting because they're trying to emphasize the uniform so much. They give her
this was so weird. They put crazy, ridiculous detail into it, where it's like you're not moving.
And also they made her extra bony. Look at her hands.
Yeah.
So she gets uniform now. And finally, it's first not the first day of school, but like the ceremony, the
orientation or whatever.
Orientation, yeah. And talk about a flip switcheroo. I had to pause it and go because it was some of the most secondhand embarrassment I have felt in quite a while.
Mine is all caps, laughing my fucking ass off. That's a bunch of A's. It's good. It's a good spin. Because
I was like, what is the why? She's the only one in this fucking uniform, and everyone else has a much more sort of toned down, completely different uniform. And she has to sit through all of orientation in it with everyone else in the gymnasium. That's because when her mom went to school, that was the uniform. But they have since changed it, and her mom did not check, and no one informed them. So she made her the old uniform. But she is granted special permission to wear it by the chancellor, head master.
Isn't that nice? Isn't that just nice?
Well, yeah, that was nice of her, but also like kind of cruel in a way, because like if I were like, instead of giving someone the choice of like I want to wear this, but I'd be weird, and then I could just wear the other, like it would be I would be kind of relieved to just hear like, no, you have to wear this other one. I'd be like, all right, that way I don't have to.
Like that the old lady is kind of waxing poetic about her own experience wearing the sailor uniform.
Yeah, she's nostalgic.
I like that. It was pleasant. it was nice.
Oh, look how sad she is at the orientation.
Yep.
So she decides to. Oh, after another pep talk from her little sis, she decides to go ahead with the uniform. And so it's the first actual. Oh, and also her sister spanks her. So actual first day of school is a lot of. It's a long sequence of her running to the school, and then you can tell when they ran out of running budget, and it just became a montage slideshow.
Yep.
But they really, really wanted as many shots of her running happy-go-luckily as possible. And then she gets there, and no one's there, and she's like, "Oh, am I early?" And I went, "Oh, no, fuck, she's late too." Ah! I knew, I was sure she was going to walk into a full class of people like an hour late. And they were all going to look at her in her crazy uniform. Actually, not. We
already had the intense drama already occurred. We've already gone.
I thought they were just going to keep piling on her. I thought they were just going to keep beating her down.
This is not an emotional roller coaster. This is an emotional lazy river. And a group of kids already tipped us over once, and now we're back up, and we're just smooth sailing, baby.
Yeah, we're smooth sailing from here on out. So now, in this sort of last scene here, it kind of
oh no, I forgot. I just noticed I had an entire second page worth of notes. Would you like to hear them?
Deliver them to me.
Feet, butt,
okay,
button in her thigh, butt spank.
All right.
I'm gonna come.
You were really
feet. These people need.
I think you need to take your supplement dosage down maybe 20-30%.
These people need to go to prison forever. No, what the fuck? Bro, you gotta be kidding me. How dare you? No. What is happening? I'm going insane.
What? It was not that crazy.
No,
I get that there were quite a few foot shots, but it was not that crazy.
No, it was the nail clipper thing. The nail clipper thing was driving me I was losing it. That was the thing that instigated this rant.
Well, for me, that was a moment of clarity where I went like, "Oh, okay, she's gonna find a bunch of other weirdos, and it's gonna be like a what's the word for solidarity? You know, they're all gonna bond over their weirdness, and that's gonna be that's the point of the show. So that's where it all congealed for me, and I was like, "Oh, okay, it's gonna be a friend group. They're gonna all be kind of weird in some specific way.
Be the girl
this girl clips her nails when she's nervous and also likes the smell of her own feet. So she's a foot lady.
Yeah, she smells her own foot, and that was what was freaking me out so much.
That was
over the line.
I can understand why that would be a bit of a shocker if you saw that.
Way over the line. And
I mean, to be fair, I have done that, but in my own bathroom. Just to check how nasty I'm getting underneath the big toe.
You gotta know this tank.
Gotta see if it's more like Lindbergher or more like dead animal, you know.
I'm just thinking about the other girls that they're gonna assemble. It's like, okay, this is the girl who clips her toenails. This is the one who applies a lot of lotion to her feet. This is the one.
No, they're not all going to be foot based.
This is the one that shaves her calluses. This is the one.
They're all foot.
This one just sucks her own toes. It's a Suicide Squad of foot fetishes. It's the stanky foot gang, and by the end of the 4th episode, it's nothing but tracking shots of them walking through grass fields and having dirty souls. It devolves into nothing but foot
and also for
porn.
some reason this one girl's in there because she wears weird clothes.
Yeah. Oh no, the soles of your feet are dirty. I need to lick them clean for you. It's like,
just a bunch of girls that sit like L in Death Note and like are always like one girl is just uses her feet as hands and writes with them and takes tests and puts them behind her head. Scratches her head.
She's eating lunch. She's eating lunch, and some of the ketchup falls out of her burger onto her foot, and she's like, "Oh no, I can't let that go to waste." So lifts it up and licks it off. Yeah.
Yep.
It gets. It's mayo. It's mayo. So and then it's dripping off, and she's like, "Ooh." Anyway, yeah, you get the idea. Foot fetish stuff's funny.
I do wonder who else is. Maybe there'll be like an otaku girl, and maybe there'll be like a.
I'm
like
the girl who wears sandals to school.
Like an ultra tomboy and who likes robots. I don't know. Your idea is better.
I think so. I think it would sell more.
Oh yeah, I think probably, yeah. Just
These
like a
people
really
need to go
just a full length, full core show about feet girls.
Yeah, and again, it's like it's not even just in the content; it's in the way that they start composing everything. Is that every shot has feet in it? Like
more and more every episode. Yeah.
Yeah, and by the end of the season, it's just a series of completely obscured people, and it's only their feet are in focus, and there's dialogue going, and yeah.
The feet become characters, and they start talking to each other.
Oh, see, that'd be good.
All right, so yeah, I thought this was pretty good.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Pretty all right.
Yeah, definitely. I was just a little wigged out by the amount of foot stuff going on.
You weren't prepared. That's understandable.
I was a little fixated. I gotta be honest, but I definitely enjoyed it, and it's cute, and the girl is sexy, and everything looks really nice. What more you want?
Does look very nice. Yeah. Promising. I didn't watch these in order, but so I just watched this one tonight. But next on our list is Barao no Soretsu.
Yes.
Requiem of the Rose King, which I said before watching it. I said sounds dramatic. Boy, was I right. Nailed that one.
Yes.
Manga JC Staff again. So I really liked the intro. First of all, these like really these paintings, really dark.
Yeah.
Paintings. They look like Stefan Burnett's paintings. Super dark colors, very dreary. And then I saw in the credits and also on its Wikipedia article, this is based on Henry the fourth or sixth, Henry VI and Richard III, the Shakespeare plays.
Yes.
Which made me go, whoa, what?
Henry IV. Henry IV, Part 3,
yeah.
And Richard III.
Yeah, so I was like, oh, huh? Okay. Because I didn't remember. I probably saw when I was like making our season list, I probably saw and was like, this looks like some gay shit, whatever, I don't know. So I started watching this, and immediately I was like, I was correct. This is dramatic. But, like at this point, Japan is the only place we can get good European historical drama now. See Vinland Saga. So
well, it is both gay and dramatic, but also good.
But it's like Shakespearean gay, where it's like not actually gay. It's just sort of has a very royal.
Yeah, they love that. They love that. Like they love that over there in Japan. They love that sort of like valor and chivalry and like the fetishizing that particular era of British history.
What's also gay is this kid's hair. It's like everyone's like normal, and then this kid has like a goth like hair over the eye haircut. And our main character is Richard. I guess is he Richard the third or the second? His father is Richard. He's the third. Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe one of his brothers is Richard the second. I don't know if that's how it works. But yeah, he's the son of the former king or wannabe king.
He's like a duke. He's like a duke or something, and and he's got a lot of power and could potentially take the throne, but he's not entitled to the throne.
Yeah. So this is it's embarrassing to not know anything about either English history or Shakespeare, but from what I gather, this takes place during the War of the Roses, which is when two houses were fighting for the kingdom, for the crown. and one of them's the House of York, and one of them's the House of the other one,
Lancaster.
Lancaster, yeah.
So you have to. This is something that I've decided is that I no longer am embarrassed about parts of history that I don't know. I have officially decided that I no longer have to be embarrassed about not knowing things from history, and I am just doing my best to learn the history that interests me. This is a determination I came to earlier today when I was driving back from seeing my folks. I was like thinking about history, and I've been learning a little bit more about Rome recently. And up until this point in my life, I've been just dreadfully afraid of all of the parts of history I know nothing about. And I've just realized that it's like I have had absolutely no reason to know about any of that history, and it's now is a good time as any to actually start. So I feel your pain, and at the same time, it's like I just it's like not knowing anything about Shakespeare. It's like, yeah, that's it's the same shit where it's like why would I know any of these Shakespeare plays? I mean, like I was never in theater, never did any theater.
Yeah, but I mean, it's the best. It's he's the most ingenious writer of all time. That's something I would like to have knowledge of. And also this is some history that I would like to know about. I like to know about English wars and stuff, because it seems neat. 30 years war, the 100 years war, the War of the Roses. Yeah. Cool stuff. Yeah. I already know a little bit about the English Civil Wars, the other ones, the Glorious Revolution and everything. But this one I'm not as familiar with.
I just saw that tragedy Macbeth movie, the one that it was Joel Cohen did. Awesome.
I did not even know. Is that a recent movie?
Yeah, it's he did an adaptation of Macbeth, and it's a really stylized, high contrast, black and white, like kind of surreal interpretation of it. I say it's an interpretation. It's all very literal. It's exactly what happens in the play. There's no sort of spin or anything. He just does it in a really beautiful and unique style. Awesome. Fucking sick.
Cool.
Anyway, yeah. So yeah, if you feel like you want to learn more about this shit, just learn about it. I don't know.
Yeah. I would like to at some point.
Do it.
So, yes. So yeah, War of the Roses. So MC's dad is fighting to get to become king, and you can tell the script may have been dumbed down a little bit from Shakespeare, which is forgivable to an extent, but there's people narrating stuff, what's happening to them, but then there's other parts where you're not this whole episode. It was good, but it went a little fast, but it still has really cool set pieces, I thought, and the tone was really good, and it sets up this very kind of pretty complex main character. And I'm not sure how much of this is just good because it's from Shakespeare or how much of it comes. I don't know how much was introduced from this manga, but it's like all the backgrounds are very splotchy, like paintings, so it makes the whole thing feel kind of very dreamlike and kind of otherworldly. And it's just sort of this kid, it's a bunch of different scenes. He has these sort of, it seems like they're kind of formative experiences where he saves this boar that's been injured, and he has visions of Joan of Arc who visits him. That was a cool bit. I wish that had lasted longer because it just stops really quickly, and I was like, what? That should have been half an episode, but I don't know. One
point he think about killing himself. He about to fucking ice himself.
That too, yes. He has another. He has a dream where he talks to a guy. He has a interesting sort of philosophical conversation with this guy who I didn't figure out at the time until the end of the episode, but that was Henry the fifth or whoever, the guy his dad's fighting. So he's talking to him and all that. And he's like, he has this weird thing going on where he's like really into his dad fighting and killing and winning and becoming king. And also he's like a hermaphrodite or something.
He's intersex.
He's got to put, which one's that?
Intersex is it's like hermaphrodite. Yeah.
Okay.
I think they just prefer. I think it's intersex now or whatever. But yeah, I hope he's got a pussy. I
hope so.
Because I was thinking early on, I'm like, this might be a girl. I think this might be a girl because I was just like looking at the face and everything. Like they made him really pretty, but that's just. I think that's even too far. I think that he's got to be a girl, and I think
he has boobs at least. So yeah, he has some weird thing going on, but like he's only a couple people know about it, but they consider him some kind of abomination. They call him a demon, which is it, but like it's also kind of like he seems very bloodthirsty. So it's kind of like it's kind of justified to call him a demon, not just because of the weird dick thing.
Might be self-fulfilling prophecy shit, which is like that's Shakespeare is all about fucking self-fulfilling prophecies, where it's like he was called a demon, at birth, and then that completely colored everything from that point forward. That's as Shakespeare as it gets. Is somebody so many trademarks here, and the right away one of the ones that comes to mind is person whispering into a duke or powerful person's ear that they should go to war to become king. It's like every Shakespeare story.
Yeah, absolutely. I barely know any Shakespeare, and a lot of this was like, oh yeah, that's like a boy pretended to be a girl, or vice versa. Shakespeare did a lot of that, usually for comedy, I think. But yeah, a lot of like things that are clearly a bad idea. Death flags, we call them now. I don't know, but yeah, 1500s, like a lot of the idea of convincing your dad to basically get redeployed is very funny to me. Just like whispering at him, like, you can fucking do one more tour in Kuwait, Dad. You can go fuck him up.
Go fuck him up. What are you talking about?
You almost had him back there, dude. Come on.
You told me you were gonna go over there and fucking become king. Look at you coming back. You're not even fucking king yet. Get your fucking bitch made ass out of here, dude. Seriously, what the fuck? I dig it. It does seem like you said that they're complex. The Richard character is complex. You're totally right. It is a surprisingly complex character for
mysterious, kind of conflicted. Yeah,
he's
marred by literal like religious visions, and he has weird junk, and he almost kills his brother, who turns out to be a girl also, I think. Right?
Well, what's this?
He almost stabs that guy who turns out to be a girl.
Oh yeah.
Is that his brother / sister? I think.
Hold on.
I don't remember.
Let me look at my notes. Oh yes. Okay. No, the guard. That's not his brother. That is that's one of the other.
Guard.
Okay. It's not even a guard. It's like a member of royalty who's watching him from the other house that they lost to. So like he's being kept watch by that person who is.
Oh, okay.
That is a guy.
No, but then it turns out it's a girl.
They're all girls.
Yeah. That's what I wrote. I was like, is anyone the gender they say they are in this fucking shit? How much of this is Shakespeare, and how much is the Fujoshi writing this? Yeah, it's it's all very like dark and foreboding and moody. I thought it was pretty neat, even if it was paced a little weird, and some of the stuff that happened wasn't fully fleshed out, and the timeline was kind of weird. It was neat.
One more thing I gotta say that really just it is. I don't know how much of this is taken. I don't know these particular plays. I know quite a few other Shakespeare plays, but these ones are a huge gap in my knowledge. Something that strikes me as another huge Shakespeare trope is that our main character never really leaves the grounds of the castle. Like his father goes off to war, and we get little glimpses of that.
Oh yeah, they never animate the war. It's like CG guys standing still. Yeah,
which is exactly how you would do that. Like if you do a big war in a Shakespeare thing, it's done in this sort of non-literal way.
And it makes it feel like this is a case where you kind of want the scale to be sort of small, just because you're focusing on this character, and you want to kind of insulate it.
Well, that's like Macbeth,
and also it makes it feel more theatrical, like more like a play.
Yes, and the small scale thing is like I don't know a ton of theater outside of the Shakespeare stuff, really. But
yes, we've established that neither of us know shit about plays.
But the thing that really strikes me about them is like how few characters there are, and how small scale all of these things are, but how grand and beautiful and all the stories are. I don't know. I've been having a good time. I read a few Shakespeare plays.
If you ever watched a full Shakespeare play, there's a fuckload of characters. Sometimes they abridge them and cut a lot of them out because he has a whole bunch.
But like, yes, but at the same time, it's like a lot of them are not going to be overly important. There's a lot of, because if you think about whatever. It's like you said, it's this is the most brilliant storytelling ever. Everything's stolen from it. It's fun. It's been coming up a lot in my life recently, and I've been enjoying that. So,
what has?
Just Shakespeare content in general.
Oh yeah, well we had that Idol show where they were doing Hamlet last time.
Yeah, the tragedy Macbeth is sick. Also, watch Kenneth Branagh's adaptation of Hamlet. From the 90s, which was one of the last films
in school.
One of the last films shot on 70 millimeter film.
That's I mean, it must be. That's the one with all this crazy long takes and shit. Like
Kenneth Branagh says words. I
don't remember that part, but that movie was awesome. It took us like 3 class periods to watch it. And
it's like 4 or 5 hours long or something. Yeah,
Jesus
it's rad.
Fucking Christ. Interesting first step. I'm gonna take a little break to pee. I think I'll just play the. I'll do the same. I'll play the Hidamari soundtrack on our break. Stay tuned.
Great. Oh, the music stopped. All right. Well, I'm
And
going to
we're
talk about
back.
the difference between hermaphrodites and,
Wait, what?
and intersex people. I was gonna.
do
I
you mean?
looked up her. I looked up intersex, and apparently it is distinct from hermaphrodite.
Okay.
The Intersex Society of North America has stated that hermaphrodites should not be confused with intersex people, and that using hermaphrodite to refer to intersex people is considered to be stigmatizing and misleading. I don't know why exactly. Hold on.
Yeah, is this the thing where it's like it is the same, but it's just you're not supposed to say it because it's because of the word. You can't hear me, right?
I can hear you. Yes.
Oh, okay.
I believe that intersex people they got fucked, like their chromosomes are fucked, but hermaphrodites they just have like
The intersex is just kind of like your shit's fucked up, but hermaphrodite specifically has both.
I see.
Maybe.
I see. You know what? I don't want either of those. I'm glad I got my function in Pecker, and I feel bad for anybody that don't.
Would you? I mean, would you rather have 4-inch dong and a working pussy, or 7-inch dong, no pussy?
7-inch dong, no pussy. What? Why do I need a pussy? What do I need a pussy for?
I don't
Or
know,
you're
you
asking
could-
for a friend? you're like, yeah, that would suck.
Well,
huh?
I mean, you could get girls who are into pussies. Well, no, maybe you could.
I really don't think they. I don't. Okay. You know what?
You could
If
finger
you're blessed-
yourself. That'd be pretty
if
cool.
if you were lucky enough to be born with both sets of genitalia, more power to you. I hope you enjoy that. If not, I'm sorry. That sounds like it sucks. No, I like just having the one set. If I could swap back and forth, that'd be pretty fun. I think, if I could just snap my fingers and have a pussy, that'd be convenient for running and stuff.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Have we talked about how I wouldn't use any superpowers if I got them? About how I'd be too afraid that they would go away. Like if if I woke up one day and I could fly, I would never fly because I would always assume that it would the power would just disappear at a certain point. I don't know where this power came from. It's not a given that it's.
I see.
But you know what? Maybe it's not worth living if you can fly, but you choose not to. Maybe living in fear is a sin in that case.
You can fly with a parachute. If you're invisible, that might be tough because you suddenly turn invisible, the powers go away in the girls' locker room, and then what do you do? So I don't know how to. But
you could catch me using X-ray vision. You could catch me using X-ray vision for sure. I'll take that gamble.
Yeah, that's
power
one
to
you can
turn
just
yourself
kinda
on
use.
fire, like Johnny Storm.
Ooh.
No.
Well, hopefully, if the power goes away, you just stop being on fire. I mean, I guess I wouldn't assume. Yeah, that's kind of a dangerous.
I feel like I've talked about this 8,000 times before, but there's a great run of X-Men that's about all of the mutants that have shitty powers. And there's a guy who can blow himself up once, which is really funny.
Everyone has that.
I know, but his power is that he generates a nuclear blast once.
Yeah.
And then
How does he
dead.
know?
He was discovered by Charles Xavier, who identified him as a mutant using Cerebro. But yeah, the guy who can set himself on fire but isn't immune to fire, that would be a pretty shitty power.
Well, yeah, you can make shitty powers all day.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, I'd probably use them.
Oh, is it time?
Oh yes. I believe our next show is called
Futsal Boys!
Wait, I'm sorry, I didn't. What was it called?
Futsal Boys!
You cannot maintain the volume. You just always cracking. So yeah, I received 4 very sudden media messages from you on my phone today, and the first one went like this.
I'm driving home from seeing my family right now, and I'm in my car, and I figure this is about pretty much the only opportunity I'm going to have to say Futsal Boys as loud as I possibly can, because there's like 6 exclamation points after the name. So I'm going to send you me screaming it at the top of my lungs, which we can use in the podcast.
By the way, it's actually only 5 exclamation points, so you said it too loud. So,
that was the first one before my voice cracked. The first one is 5. The second one's 6.
I see.
Yep.
Yeah. So yes.
Futsal Boys
is a multimedia franchise based on the sport of, you guessed it, futsal. And it's by Dio Media. This was the last one I was going to watch on my list right before we started recording tonight. But I instead had to take a huge dump, one-way ticket to Dumptown. So I did not watch Futsal Boys. Maybe you will hear my opinions next time. Ethan, please grace us with your knowledge of these. Is it like soccer? Is it like a mixture of foot?
It is soccer.
Great.
It seems to be just I don't know anything about soccer. I know as much about soccer as I do about theater. I'm just going to say that once so I don't have to say it again. This episode begins on our protagonist doing some breakdancing underneath a bridge just by himself.
That's how you get into soccer. That sounds like a guy who's into soccer if I've ever heard one.
He's breakdancing and doing these incredible breakdancing moves, and then his ethnic friend comes by to tell him that the World Cup is on.
Oi, bruv, the World Cup is on.
Now,
why don't you go? I just paid my TV license. It's good for 6 months. Why don't we go down and watch some futsal?
I can't. I got my booster. I gotta get my booster to go see the futsal. Now, here's the thing. I had thought that they were gonna go to like a sports bar or like some, they got like a public facing television somewhere to watch the game. They walk into the stadium where the World Cup is happening. they
what?
I know. And they run to the stadium and walk in. This is so confusing to me.
That's crazy.
I know. This is all caps. All caps. This is the World Cup. They walk in. and
no
then
security check. You just walk in.
So this is futsal.
Wait, are they supposed to be in Japan?
Yes.
When has the World Cup been in Japan?
Ever? They walk into the World Cup and we get so this is futsal moment where like he sees a tremendous kick. Their kicks, they're like goal scoring shots have names and stuff and have like dragons appear and shit like that. Not literally, but it cuts to anime style graphics of dragons or whatever. Anyway, we get our, so this is futsal moment, then we get an opening.
The 2002 FIFA World Cup was held at sites in South Korea and Japan.
That was the last time. I think it takes place on a a concrete field. I don't think it happens like on grass or anything. So I think that might be a defining thing. I'm not sure.
Okay,
it seems like it's soccer.
Okay, so it's so he's gonna get into futsal, but for some reason they're going to see the World Cup to get into this.
Yes, he is not into futsal. His friend comes over and is like, "Come with me and watch the futsal World Cup." And our protagonist is like, "But you know that I am not into futsal." And it's like, "Well, we got to go. The World Cup is right there." So they go to the World Cup, and now he's into futsal. And he has decided that he is going to become the greatest futsal player in the world. This is
Japan Japan did put in a bid for the 2022 FIFA World Cup, but it was won by Qatar. So maybe this show was created in anticipation that maybe Japan would get the World Cup bid.
Well, that's funny you mentioned that, because this is a very optimistic show. Because in the like one of the very first shots of the show is this older man reading about the futsal World Cup in a newspaper, and one of the headlines is in the newspaper is Japan population reaches new high. Oh God. Anyway, so the main character is on his way to school, and he ends up coming across a scene where some bullies are preventing some younger kids from playing futsal on the futsal court.
Did him a favor.
And immediately they're challenging this guy and another guy who was just walking by, who got into the conflict, to a
Whoa, you just cut out hard there.
Hello.
Your internet just took a huge shit. You're
Can you hear
back.
me?
Yeah, you're good.
So protagonist and another guy who was walking by who got pulled into this, are fighting these bullies, or they're playing futsal against these bullies to determine whether or not they're going to be able to play there. The one of the guys is clearly, or the guy who was walking by is clearly like some sort of prodigy player or whatever. Anyway, they go to school. They win. They beat the bullies. The bullies are like, "We're gonna get you." They go to school. Bullies show up at school and start harassing the futsal club. And then we are immediately into another futsal game against these bullies. So more bullies show up. So
They got a whole futsal team of bullies.
They do. They totally do. So our protagonist and the other kind of mysterious prodigy guy they want to join the futsal team at the school, and then the entire futsal team gets roped into this shit with the bullies, and they play against the thugs, and the bullies the bullies look at each other at a certain point because they're getting blown out, and they're like, "It's time for us to start doing that." And
there we go. They break out nightsticks. They break out nunchucks.
I'm like, okay, what is that going to be? And that is just cheating.
Start smoking. I knew, yeah. Of course, it's going to be cheating. I thought it'd be funny if they just started smoking crack.
But what could that? What they might as well have just looked at each other and said, "Let's start cheating." It's like what?
Well, yeah.
But anyway,
can't say it out loud though. Can't give away the secret.
Now I don't know what happens. I don't know what happened. I don't know if our team wins because the bullies start cheating and they end up tying the game, and there's 10 seconds left in the game, and in the middle of a shot, it cuts to credits. So
they were planning for that 48-minute first step, didn't get it.
It really fucking feels like that's the case. If they'd done 48 minutes, they would have just shoved another 2 fucking soccer matches against these bullies. So, this is you know exactly what this is. You know exactly what this is. You don't have to watch it.
Yeah.
But you have to watch it and confirm that I am correct in they just walk into the World Cup, because like there's no fanfare going on around the town. It's not like there's a bunch of people swarming the fucking building. It's just they walk in. It's packed in there and everybody's freaking out. But it's very I guess it's in Japan, so there's not going to be any hooliganism. But yeah. Really strange, the opening there, but it's a very standard. So this is blank sport show.
Yeah, but that is hilarious. The World Cup thing. All right, cool. Futsal boys. All right. Well, next up, is a show called Kaijin Kaihatsubu no Kuroitsu-san.
Yes.
Miss Kuroitsu from the Monster Development Department. a manga adaptation by Quad, which seems to be a brand spanking new studio. I didn't know what was going on in this. Am I dumb? Were you as confused as I was for like half this episode before you realized what the premise was? Did you get it immediately?
Not really. I was waiting for like, what's the hook? Or because I know that they're like an evil team, and they're evil organization. They fight Sentai, and then
okay, so you got that instantly. I was just like, is this because I'm drunk? What is because they're showing these Sentai, these different Sentai guys, these different Power Rangers, and I was like, are these real? Are they made up? Are they like, is this a crossover? Why are they showing these? What's going on?
If you missed the first 2 lines of the show, then it's possible that would not have made sense, because it's like they go immediately into like they're immediately like, these are the people that we fight, and then it's a montage of Sentai
okay,
characters.
yeah. And also, it's just like just from the title of the show, it should have like I should have gotten it, but it took a while to click for me that they're developing the monsters that these fictional Sentai will be fighting. So this is one of those. Wasn't there a show just like this recently where they were like in heaven making new animals or something? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't remember what that was called, but yeah, same premise. There's these types of shows. These types of just kind of like Cells at Work and stuff. I remember seeing
workplace comedies about very
workplace
specific.
comedy. Yeah, that scientist show. I forget what the science was, but yeah, very similar genre. I remember seeing, I don't know if it was a tweet, I remember seeing someone saying, like, I'd watch a show about the people who cleaned up after the messes that the Evangelions always made, and everyone was like, oh, that'd be awesome. And I'm like, there's enough of these shows. We know what these are. I don't know if it would be as funny as you think it was.
All of these shows are the first act of Monsters, Inc. You know, where it's like fantasy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's also Monsters, Inc. Yeah.
Fantasy workplace. That's the concept. And this fantasy workplace is these people make the monsters that Sentai fight.
Yes. What if you took, sci-fi, bombastic fiction, but then added office mundacity for comedy? And it's one of those. So yeah, they're developing and pitching new kaiju, whatever, monsters for the Power Rangers to fight. And so our main girl is sort of the pitch man, and sort of the assistant to the main scientist guy, the developer. And in this first episode, she has to pitch a very half-assed, barely thought out monster, which is like a guy in a big dinosaur costume. And eventually she pitches it as best as she can, and then it comes under scrutiny by the evil people council, and then she starts kind of bullshitting, but it gets rejected anyways despite her best efforts. And so they go back to the drawing board. They end up developing a wolf man, but it turns out to be a wolf girl.
Nice.
With boobs. Nice.
This is good.
I like it. It was
boobs are nice.
It's a positive turn of events for me. And also we meet a guy that she meets at the convenience store ends up being a Sentai man. So he will also be a character, I presume. And in the credits, I saw one of the studios or teams credited was the Neiger Project. Neiger Project Neiger.
Now, real quick, I have to say something.
Please do.
There are two hooks in the show.
Yeah.
The first hook is their manager at this evil organization comes in and he's like, they expect to get chewed out because they haven't been doing great work, and he instead is a really good manager who tells them that they're their number one resource, and that hardworking people make the evil organization go, and that they need to make sure that they're getting enough rest.
Yeah, he basically tells them to like take a mental health day. Yeah, that I didn't like that because I'm sick of fucking. You can tell when Japanese media is like trying to like kind of just kind of promote like it's sort of workplace culture reform where they're
Subtle about it ever.
It what's that?
They're not subtle about it.
Yeah. So that it felt very on the nose to me. I was like, okay,
They lampshade it as like a joke.
You're not supposed to make jokes about people working until 10 p.m. anymore. So now you have to have all the managers be nice, the boss is nice, and everybody rest as much as you want and go home and fucking.
Now that joke got a heh. That got a heh. which is the most of up until that point in the episode. And then the second hook is that the guy that their Sentai that they're fighting works in the same building as them. That's a good hook.
Does he? I forget. I missed that part.
Yes, he works in the same building.
I thought they were in space or something. I guess not.
No, and he sees them every day, and they neither of them knows that they work in the same building. Good. I like that.
Cool.
This is bad. This is not a great show. I do not care for this particular kind of workplace comedy. Doesn't work for me ever. But it's a good hook. I like that.
Yeah, and at the end, the naked wolf girl beats a guy and looks down at her boobs again. One of the looking down at boobs shots is censored, and the other one's not. I thought that was weird. I mean, neither one has nipples, but one of them has these big logos over them, and one of them they're just covered by hair. I don't know why they didn't do that in both shots. Yeah, it didn't grab me. There you go.
Yep.
Last show, part 2, is the one everyone's talking about. Everybody and your grandma is cranking their fucking little knob to this show. Sono Bisque Dal wa Koi wo Suru, with the brilliantly translated, localized English title, My Dress Up Darling. Ooh, My Dress Up Darling. One of my favorite things people are doing this season is making threads and posts where they deliberately refer to it using the cheesy English title to bait people into calling them new fags and telling them to get the fuck out. They'll just be like, I'm really enjoying My Dress Up Darling. And everyone will be like, get the fuck out of here. Dude, fuck off. It's the perfect bait. It rules. Because it's such an awful oh god, why would you call it that? Why the fuck would you write those words? It's horrible. Darling is each by itself even is so bad.
That's great.
But manga adaptation, this is our third Cloverworks show. So it's about a guy who's a fucking freak who likes China dolls. Not the cool hot dolls like I own, but the weird ones with the makeup.
Yeah, like the kind of thing that nobody, not even women like. Nobody should like these.
Yeah, it's just like it's a tradition that's kind of kept alive purely by inertia, and it's kept alive by a very small band of weirdos.
It's got to go the way of the Koto soon. There's a certain sort of
yes, it must be burned with all the Koto. We're gonna have a big Disco Sucks-esque concert where we burn a pile of Kotos and China dolls.
It's the Kotos Blow event where you burn them all. I think there's definitely a crossover of people who listen to Koto music and own a bunch of China dolls.
Oh yeah, that is the most that's the most satanic form of weeb you can achieve. That is truly chaotic evil path. That is like you're in an abandoned house. It's like a witch, like just waiting for centuries for someone to come upon you, so you can.
You're the kind of
inflict
person
all
that
kinds of horrible evils upon them.
You don't even know that you can bathe. You know, it's like it didn't
The
even.
thoughts never occurred to you. You are pure chaos.
No, your hair is just one big knot. You know, it's
Yeah.
it's you don't even you just go wherever. You're just pissing and shitting all over yourself, playing your koto, you sick fuck.
You're in the woods and you just hear. Ah! Blair Witch Project, but they just keep hearing Kodos.
You see one pop around a corner. You see one pop its horrifying face around a corner. Honestly, if I saw Koto standing up in the middle of the woods, it's scarier than seeing a person. it's
yeah, for sure. And then at the end, they instead of making the guy stand in the corner, he makes him makes him sit crisscross applesauce. Makes him sit under a kotatsu.
Oh my goodness.
So yes, my dress up darling is Guy likes stalls. I already said that. A girl in a flashback in like elementary school thinks he's weird because he likes dolls. Which you think like, oh, that's sad, but then you're like, actually, maybe he does like him a little too much.
He's a little pervy.
Judging by the faces he's making at him, I don't know. They don't even have bodies. They're sticks, and then you put like big dresses on them. You don't make bodies for them. And then the opening gave me heavy vibes of like, oh, we're trying really hard to be KyoAni, because it had the like the two halves of the screen flashing like in the openings for Chunibyo. And so he's in high school now, I think, and he has no friends, and a girl falls from the sky, sorta, basically, onto his desk.
She falls backwards. I don't even know how she managed that.
I'm not sure what happened. Yeah, she's Klutz, and this girl's really the actual draw. She's the centerpiece of the show. Her name's Kitagawa, and that was the other thing I was going to say about what the fuck, Akami-chan's Sailor Fuku. They tried really hard in that show to make you like this girl. This show also, they're trying really hard to make me like this girl, and I'm not saying it's not working, because it is, but I can tell that it's doing it.
Yeah, it's important because the show has. Yeah, she's
very designed. I wouldn't say over designed, but she's very designed to be just like not likable. She's designed to be to stand out, but not in a way that makes you think like, oh, she's gross. She knows. They just gave her enough of an edge. They gave her piercings. She wears a lot of makeup. She's got crazy nails, choker, right? But she's just enough. Don't quite. I guess they don't really quite go over the line. But she's like the coffee girl from the Candy Show, whatever it's called. So, I'm trying to read this note. Wow, feisty. What is that word? I have wow and then AHW feisty. I don't know what that's supposed to be.
It was supposed to be
That doesn't sound right. But yeah, he has a brief encounter with her. I think she's popular. And then they have the fateful after-school encounter. He's cleaning the classroom after class, and she helps him out. But he's doing it just because the guy whose job it is asked him to, and he's doing it because he doesn't care. And she tells him not to let people push him around. And then after that, he makes more dolls. He really got it. he cuts himself with his scissors somehow, but like he seems like he stabbed himself with them. He really shows the scissors. It looks like a murder weapon. Like it looks like it went 2 inches into his fucking hand. But his sewing machine's broke, so he has to use the one at school. And this is when we get our big encounter. He gets busted. She walks in on him sewing, and he has to come clean. And then she takes all the clothes off and does a cute little shimmy. And it turns out she is also into making clothes, but she stinks.
Yes.
She's bad at it, and she shows him a picture of what she was trying to do, and hers is not even remotely similar. And he clearly knows much more than her. So they sort of form a Keiyaku contract. They're going to be cosplay buds. Also, of course, we have to address the huge controversy here, the huge tragedy, compared to the shot of her ass in the manga. The shot in the anime is a crime, and fuck all that foot shit. The this is what people should get prison time for. Because
can you show me? Do you have this readily available?
I don't have it readily available, but I could probably find it. It would just be some. I'm sure it's not as easy as I thought. Hold on, maybe Bing will give it to me. Say something. It's a podcast.
I really hope I get to see this butt. I like that they gave her lips. It's nice that they gave her lips. Well, yeah,
when she's basically a gyaru, so you got to give her lips. Right?
Yeah. Because in my notes I have her. She's a gyaru, but the attitude is not that. The attitude is.
Well, yeah, you can never give a gyaru who's a main character a gyaru attitude.
Yeah. It's funny. This show is utterly transparent in what it's doing, but it totally works the entire time. I dug it. I was digging what was going on there in the arts room. I found the interchange to work, or the interplay to work pretty well. Where he cannot contain his disgust with her outfit because he's an obsessive guy who cares about that kind of shit. It's fun. I really dug that.
Mm-hmm.
Did you?
I am still searching for that ass.
Okay, that's fine. I'm always searching for that ass. So, I like that she just immediately disrobes.
Strange. Yes, she has the no nudity. Well, actually, I mean, she doesn't even actually. Oh, I have an email. Great. She has more clothes on underneath, so it's not even really a big deal. It's got to be in the first couple of chapters here. I mean, you would think. Like
it looks like they made him hotter in the show than he is in the manga.
I would believe that.
And I think that she looks way better in this design. I think they did it better.
Oh, here it is. Okay. All right. So
you're a real one for this. Thank you.
Here's the original ass. Okay.
Oh, this is on the stream? Okay.
Are we seeing this?
Wow, wow, wee, wow, wow. Hey,
Auga.
Nyang, nyang. Hubba, hubba.
Okay. Okay. And it won't take me nearly as long, I hope, to find it in the show.
Geez, I mean, that's riding up there, really, for real. That's a problem. You got to pick that thing out there. That's got to be uncomfortable. Really chafing. Jeez.
Where did they put it in the fucking?
That's just not enough. That's just not enough fabric to cover her butt. If you look at it, it's simply.
It looks more like a bathing suit, really.
I know, and I'm concerned with if she's trying to remain chaste. If she's trying to remain chaste and live a life that reflects the Lord's love, I think it might do her well to consider One Piece next time she goes anywhere.
One Piece underwear? What?
She should wear
like a Victorian.
She should probably wear a fucking hijab if she's gonna go, because this is absolutely haram.
I think you're still supposed to wear underwear under a hijab.
Not in the videos that I've seen.
Oh, okay. Oh, there it is. Okay. All right. Hold on. I got it.
I like that you can see with the indent where the straps from the undies be pressing in. It's great.
All right. So here is the fucking butcher job they did to my girl. Oh, look at that horrific fucking. I think that part on the bottom is supposed to be the pussy, but there's no depth to it, so it just looks. She has Hank Hill ass. I mean, it's a travesty. I'm not riding the fence here. I'm not giving both sides their due. This is, this is a fucking.
Quite unfortunate.
That's a misstep to say the least.
They really did give her the Hank Hill ass.
I won't stand for it.
I refuse.
Horrific.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, you know, there's a lot of other cute stuff of her, and you know what? Sometimes girls do have shitty butts. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll watch this. It's okay.
Yeah.
You know, is it better than
Football boys?
I'm going to say probably. Actually, yes.
I can tell you definitely.
Yeah. So yeah, that's part 2.
We've done it.
And yeah. So thank you for joining us. I think it's snowing more here because I hear someone snow blowing.
Get
outside.
ready for a game next time.
Game?
I'm gonna bring a game.
Oh yes, your game. You're gonna bring a game.
Yep.
Now, oh wait, let's see if I can find it here. You know, I never told the story on this podcast of my New Year's Eve experience, which was a fun story, but I've told it multiple times to multiple people. But the short version is that I was hanging out alone and got really, really high on mushrooms and tried to play Call of Duty with my friends.
Oh, yes.
And was trying to play Call of Duty with people shouting orders at me. Like just like, you know, running through like Warzone environments, like just listening to, we were playing with a guy who lived in Wisconsin who was like taking bong rips and coughing, and like everyone was screaming and no one could figure out why I couldn't fucking do anything, because I was just laughing the whole time, because I was, you know, first of all, just being on mushrooms and running like through a fucking like fishing hut village with a machine gun is hilarious. And I was also having this thing where like every little town or building I would run through, like I would feel like it was trying to be its own little like vignette, but I think it was just because like they might have been playing some song that sounded kind of Latin. So I was running through this one little village and I was like, this is just supposed to be a little, like, it looked like a movie set that was supposed to be like in Mexico, but I was probably just hearing music that sounded a little Mexican. But I just felt like every section of this game was its own little like cultural vignette. That it was all like kind of a Disney theme park ride where I was running through these different cultural environments. It was so fucking funny.
That is like such a psychedelic. Like,
of course, I understood it was happening while it was happening, but I still couldn't help but see it. Yeah, that is great. But I could barely see what was happening on the screen. And also, David kept doing this thing where I would be dead. I'd be dead, and he would get into a car and drive for a while, and then quickly jump out, get into another car, and go, car swap! And he would keep driving. And he would get me laughing so hard. And then he would buy me back from death. And our other friend, Bree, would go, David, what the fuck? Why are you buying him back? And he goes, he's laughing at my jokes. And I'd be unable to play because I couldn't see the screen through my tears of laughter. But in addition to all of that, I was also listening to the radio, our r/a/do New Year's stream, which is always a treat. And I was also, so I was listening to all of that, experiencing all of that, and also listening to a lot of, shitpost meme music and club remixes, bangers. So I just want you, as we go out here, to imagine me listening to this while fucking entering the 9th dimension and playing Call of Duty, meeting the machine elves running with an STG-44 and just going and listening to this on blast. So yes, thank you. Please follow us on Twitter.
Yes,
I'm a time.
I've been popping off on Twitter. My Twitter has been fucking.
You've been retweeting the same 3 or 4 accounts a whole lot on
that's
Twitter.
What I'm talking about.
Yeah, that's the move.
That's what Twitter is.
Yeah. Yes, and email us at podcast@gangstalking.com. See you later.
Your voice when you sleep next to me. I still feel your
Shout out to
touch
Poop
in
Kirby.
my dreams.
Shout out Pope Kirby.
Forgive